This is how you make Chinese egg drop soup. The first thing that you need chicken stock. Now I personally use this. This is called Minner's Chicken Base. It could be purchased online or it could be purchased at BJ's Wholesale Warehouse. Either way, I like this stuff better than using a canned chicken stock because the flavor is way better. A lot of restaurants use this, and you use just a rounded tablespoon in a quart of water to make 1 quart of chicken stock, and that's what you need for this, 1 quart of chicken stock. You also need this. You need 1 tomato. You need a 1/4 teaspoon or more, if you like, of white pepper. You need a packet of sugar. Now this is sugar in the raw. You could use any kind of sugar that you want, but I just happen to have this packet, so I'll use that. You need sesame oil. Now there's different kinds of sesame oil, but this particular brand, they call it Kadoya. This is absolutely the best sesame oil that you can buy. Any Asian store will have this. Look at the label so you know what it says. And typically the ones in the supermarket just don't have enough flavor. They're like kind of bland. This one is the real deal, and this is the best you could buy. You also need this, scallions, and you need some soy sauce. All right, let me show you what you got to do real quick. And here we are making egg drop soup, and I forgot the ingredient, the egg. And all you do is you crack this and you mix it up in a like a little Pyrex measuring cup, and I'll show you why in just a second. To prep, all you do is you cut up your tomatoes into chunks and you cut up your scallions and you put those aside just for a second. Here's a little Pyrex thing. I'm just beating the egg up so it's just beat up, that's all. Okay, that part's done. It's prepped, ready to rock and roll. And the reason I use this is because you see this little spout right here? I want this little spout later on. I'll show you why. Okay, I've got my gas on. The next thing I do, I just filled up a quart bell jar or ball jar with water. I stick that in there. The next thing I do is I take the chicken stock and I take kind of a rounded tablespoon of that. Just put that inside there. Get off. Put that in there. I take a little dab of soy sauce. I just pour a little bit in like that. The next thing is throw in some of this sesame oil. I'm putting in a level teaspoon. Usually I just eyeball it. Here's the white pepper. Put in a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon. Again, I just eyeball it. The more you put in, the more spicy it gets. And one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, cornstarch. You got to put in some cornstarch. So I'm putting in kind of a teaspoon. Just put it in. Stir it up. That's kind of it right there. Now I'm going to bring it to a boil. Let me break up that a little bit. Bring it to a boil, and then we'll come right back to it. See, I always forget something. I forgot the sugar. Throw some sugar in. 1 packet should do fine. This is sugar in the raw. Again, just stir it a little bit, and I'm just waiting for it to boil so it thickens up and it gets all set to go. That's the broth. That quick, that's simple. As this is starting to heat up, because you have the cornstarch in here, you want to stir it up a little bit. This is starting to get hot. The cornstarch will thicken it up a little bit, and we're almost ready to go. This is quick and fast. Okay, you can see that it's boiling now, and I've switched over to chopsticks. In Chinese, by the way, the word for chopsticks is kuaizi. Kuaizi. Alright, so I'm stirring it up a little with chopsticks. I'm just going to let it boil just a second more, and then I'm going to turn off the gas. Alright, now once the gas is off, there's a couple of ways you can do this. If there's any trick to it, this is it. You could pour the egg down the chopsticks, which some people like to do that technique, and you pour just a little bit at a time and just move the chopsticks around slowly. I'm just pouring it in, just moving it around very slow, not to mix it in, but to let it turn into egg drop. And you can see what I'm doing here. Pour a little at a time and just move it around slow like that, and it'll turn into egg drop soup for you. The heat in the soup will do this. One egg, just a little at a time. Keep moving it around, just like I'm doing here. And that's it. It's basically done. That's egg drop soup. Now, egg drop soup. This is a basic egg drop soup, but the Chinese add all kinds of things. I'm just pushing the tomatoes in there. I'm just pushing in the scallions. I'm not going to add any extra heat. I'm going to let the heat that's in there do it. Just mix it around a little bit. That'll slightly cook the tomatoes and scallions. You want them to be kind of al dente. You don't want them to be mushy and soft. And that's basic egg drop soup. Now, when the Chinese make egg drop soup, the basic recipe, which is what I did here with the tomatoes and scallions, that's kind of basic, real Chinese egg drop soup. However, you could add chicken to it, you could add spinach to it, you could add anything you want to it. There's as many variations to egg drop soup as there are for making meatloaf. But this is the basic recipe. It's real simple and sweet. You're done in 5 minutes and you got a great soup, and that's basically it. Now, just like all good culinary videos, here's the egg drop soup sitting here in a bowl, and I'm going to taste it now. Oh, let's see here. How does it taste? Watch. Just like they do on TV. Watch. Oh, man. Is that good? Is that so good? Boy, you couldn't believe it. Wow, I wish you were here to try this. But anyway, there you have it. That's egg drop soup. Back in 2008, I had gone to China on behalf of the government of Delaware to negotiate certain things for the state. And the recipe that you just saw, I have friends that are in Dandong, China. Dandong is, if you think of Boston and the location of Boston in our country, that's kind of where Dandong is in the geographics of China, up in the northeast by the Yalu River. And across the street from Dandong is, like if you think of New Jersey and across the Hudson River is Manhattan. It's not quite that wide, but across the river from Dandong is North Korea. So that was quite interesting, knowing North Korea was there. And there's a bridge that connects Dandong with North Korea. And while I was there, the government took me for a boat ride out on the Yalu River. And I was probably in North Korean territory by the proximity of the beach on the North Korean side of the Dandong River. But while I was out there, they sent a 120-foot Chinese gunboat out on the river to say to the North Koreans, don't. Whatever you're thinking, don't. Because here I am, an American out there in the middle of this river. And as I said, I was so close to North Korea. I mean, I could see their faces clearly, and they could see mine. And it's like, oh, American, because they don't really like us, so I hear. So the Chinese made it very comfortable for me and sent out a gunboat to tell them sit down. I guess that was the message. But in this little video, I'm going to show you a little bit of the official part of the trip when I went there, and I'll show you some of the city of Dandong, China. Well, anyway, it's so my intertwining with Chinese is very strong, and I speak the language, and so when I cook Chinese food, it's taught to me by Chinese people, friends of mine, and some of it was over there, some of it was over here in the U.S., but nevertheless, maybe you'll enjoy this a little bit.
今天上午，市长陈铁心在丹东宾馆会见了以内政执行官约翰·亚什先生为团长的美国特拉华州代表团。
陈铁心首先对约翰·亚什先生一行前来参加2007中国丹东鸭绿江国际旅游节表示欢迎，并向客人介绍了丹东独特的区位、资源、产业、基础设施、旅游和环境等6大优势。陈铁心说，作为辽宁5.1线开放格局中的重要一点，丹东借助得天独厚的优势，正大力发展临港经济，推动丹东老工业基地的全面振兴。希望约翰·亚什先生能借此次来丹的契机，进一步加深对丹东的全面了解，回国后广泛宣传推介丹东，吸引和带动更多的美国客商来丹东投资兴业，实现双方的互利共赢。约翰·亚什对陈铁心市长的热情接待表示感谢，并向陈铁心市长转达了纽卡索郡和维尔明顿市市长关于建立两市友好关系的意愿。约翰·亚什表示，回国后一定会在当地企业家中广泛宣传丹东，推动双方的经贸合作向更宽更广的领域迈进。副市长于怀乐会见时在
After that news clip aired in Dandong, and let me give you an idea what Dandong is. Dandong, China, is a border city. It's basically the size of the city of Philadelphia, maybe a little bit bigger, but the Dandong region is about the size of the state of Connecticut. There's about 2.83 million people there. Big economy. But after the news thing went, I was there for a month on that particular trip. Everywhere I went, everybody's going ta ta ta. Now in Chinese, the word ta, T-A, means him or her. So if you see somebody and you want to refer to a guy or a girl, you just say, instead of him or her, you say ta, which is a generic word. But everywhere I went, I saw the Chinese people recognizing me, and they're pointing, they're going ta ta ta, and they're all coming over with their cameras to like take pictures, like celebrity status. And it's like, no. I'm just me. I'm not. It was unique. I'll put it that way. But while I was there, the Chinese government on their primary government building, they flew this huge banner on there. The thing was about 6 feet tall and, gosh, I don't know, 40 feet wide, and it was a welcoming banner that they kept there on their building the entire time on this particular trip that I was there. One of the things that I'm going to show you, and this little video that you're going to see now, when I came back to the United States on that particular trip, my company, J. Yasher Media Productions, we produced a film presentation for the governor, House of Representatives, the Senate, and other elected officials around the state that needed to see this, which was, there was a purpose to my going there on this government work that I was doing for the state. And I'm going to show you part of the presentation that I gave them, and what you're going to see is a couple things. I attended this dinner on the Yalu River, and the Yalu River is like, it's a big river. I mean, ships go up and down this thing. But during this particular banquet, it was a festival in Dandong, and there were ambassadors there from around the world. The U.S. Consulate General was there. People from the central government were there. And on the Yalu River, they had this huge, beautiful banquet for us. And a private orchestra. They had a fireworks show there that started. It was like, you know when you go to a fireworks show and they have the finale here? Well, they started with the finale and it went up from there. Fireworks shows in China, they go crazy with fireworks there. I mean, just you have to see it to really get it. But if you think of our finale and just take it further from there, that's what they do. One of the other things they did is the government of Dandong, they gave me, across the river from Dandong is North Korea. So they wanted to give me a boat tour of the Yalu River and to see the city and this, and it was very cool. Except one of the things that they did is they took me like really close to the border of North Korea. In fact, I was in North Korean territory because I was maybe 250, 300 feet off the Korean shoreline. I could have swam from the boat to the shore. But one of the things they did, because here I am an American, I mean, did I stick out among, Chinese and Korean people? Absolutely. So what did they do? The Chinese government sent a 120-foot gunboat on the river to shadow the boat that I was on, so that when they took me into North Korean territory, where I could literally see the guys on the shoreline with machine guns, everything remained calm. And I was like, boy, isn't this interesting? And they also said to me, they said, don't take any pictures of the North Korean, just look at them, don't wave, don't do anything, just observe. And they said, if you do anything other than that, that will incite, and we don't want to deal with that. So just observe. On our side of the river, anything you want. On their side of the river, do what we do. Just watch. So I said, okay. I didn't want to mess with it. So anyway, this will give you an idea of Dandong, China, and some of the things I did when I was there on this particular trip. I've been there a few times, and it's always nice when I go back. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this.
在1楼。